Hi, my name is Islam Mithat. Welcome to the Web Application Hacking Practical course. This course is not like other courses. In this course, I will teach you the methods and the techniques that the hackers are using to hack any website. This course will be fully practical. I will not teach you the boring stuff that you can get from Google. All the videos in this course are simple, short, and practical. So you will learn how to hack any website in a short amount of time. This course is for beginners and anyone who want to learn hacking websites. I hope that you enjoy this practical course. Thank you. Hello and welcome. Nowadays, most of us use the internet, but lots of us still don't really know how it works. Every website out there is just a bunch of files, just like you have on your computer at home. Websites are made of content like pictures, graphics, music, text, and so on. You need to know that all websites include computer code written in a programming language called HTML. Your web browser is designed to use this code and other files to display the website content. Now all these files and the code need a place to be stored. So this place is called web hosting server. Web servers are just super powerful computers. Its main purpose is to store websites files. Now, how do these websites that are stored on servers get to your computer at home? Well, when you look up for a specific website or domain name, you open up a web browser, type in the domain name, then press enter. What is really happening behind the scenes is that your computer will go online to find the server of that website by using the domain name system or the DNS. A DNS server is a computer server that contains a database of public IP addresses and their associated host names. In most cases, it translates common domain names to IP addresses as requested. Think of the DNS as like a phone book for websites. Once your computer finds the server through DNS or domain name system, it connects to that server, then receives the website files from that server. Let's say that you want to open udemy.com. The first thing that you will do is to open the web browser, type udemy.com in the address bar, then hit enter. The browser will send a request to the server using the help of the DNS, telling them that you want to access the website. The server after that will send a response to your web browser containing the content of Udemy website. I hope that you now understand how websites work. Thank you. First, we will install DAM Vulnerable Web Application from the main site. So DVWA is a PHP vulnerable web application that has been developed for testing reasons. I will use this web application to teach you all the techniques and the methods that the hackers are using to hack web applications. As you can see, the zip file that contains the vulnerable web app has been downloaded. Here you can see the PHP files that we will use it to run our application. And to run PHP on your computer, you need to install Apache Server, which is included in XAMPP. Now we will download XAMPP for Windows from the main website. It is easy. You just need to access the main website and download the 32-bit version. It will also work on your 64-bit version of Windows. I have already downloaded XAMPP file, the exe file to my desktop, so I will just install it in front of you. It is very easy to install, just like any other software on your Windows. The unpacking process will take some time, so I will pause the record until it finishes. Here we go. Just press finish and the control panel will start after finishing. In control panel, there are many options, but we need only to start Apache and MySQL services. Now to check that everything has been successfully installed and your computer is now can run PHP files, you should see this page after accessing the localhost URL. Now let's install the DVWA. We need to get the PHP files from the zip file and move it to the following directory, the XAMPP htdocs directory. Any file in this directory means that it is live, it is online. It is a website. This is your website. As you can see, there is an error, and that's because it is the first time to configure our application. We just need to rename this file and now try to access the website again. Okay, as you can see, it runs fine, but there is still some issue. We didn't configure our database. Any website needs to connect with the database. Now we will go to the config file again and we will remove the password because our exam server is by default not used any password for the MySQL. We will just let it root and nothing, and go again, refresh, create. Alright, created, everything is fine. Now we will log in to DVWA. I will try admin, log in. Oops, this is failed. I will try again, admin, password. Welcome to damn vulnerable web application. Now you are ready to learn the techniques and the methods that the hackers are using to hack web application. Now we will install Barb Suite from the main website. There are two versions, a free one and a professional one. We just need to install the free one for this course. Press save, and now the download has been started. Barb Suite is a proxy server that will capture all the web traffic between your browser. Barb contains other tools such as Web Application Security Scanner. It also contains a tool called Repeater, which is a simple tool that can be used to manually test an application, and it also can be used to modify requests and resend them to the server. Actually, this tool will gives you a full control, letting you combine advanced manual techniques with the automatic techniques to make your work faster, more effective, and more fun. I really used this tool for so long time. Now let's install it. It is also very easy to install. Just wait a few seconds. Well, if it is your first time to install Barb Suite, you should not see this window. This will only show if you have the tool on your computer already. This might take some time, so please wait. Here we go. Press finish and you are done. Let's open the tool from the Windows menu. Type Barb and here it is. Just give it a few seconds to start. Close the update window. In the free version you can't save the project to the disk. It's okay, just use a temporary project. Use the default settings and hit start. Here we go. Barb Suite has been successfully installed. Go to the proxy tab, then go to the options tab. You will find that the tool is listening on localhost with port 8080. Now let's configure our browser to send all the web traffic to Barb proxy. Search for proxy and hit settings. Under manual configuration, write 127.0.0.1 with the listening port, which is 8080 in our case. Now to make the tool intercept the traffic, you need to activate the intercept button. Let's check if the proxy works by reloading the page. It seems that the tool doesn't capture anything yet. You just need to add a dot after localhost to tell Barb Suite to capture traffic from localhost. Now activate the intercept button again and reload the page. As you can see, Barb Suite was able to intercept this request from the web browser. If we can see all the requests between your web browser and the server, then you can modify or change these requests and find security issues or vulnerabilities that will help you to break the security of the website. Barb Suite by default only capture HTTP traffic and doesn't capture the HTTPS traffic. Let's try to open Google website which is using the HTTPS protocol. As you can see with Barb Suite, your connection is not secure. The web browser couldn't fetch Google website. To fix this problem, we need to install Barb certificate into our web browser. Just export the Barb certificate in DER format and save it on your PC. Now let's import the certificate in our browser. From the privacy and security options, find the certificates area and press view certificates. Hit import and choose the certificates that you saved on your PC. Make sure that you checked all these options, then press OK. Now try to reload google.com or any website that is using HTTPS. As you can see, Barb Suite is now able to intercept both HTTP and HTTPS traffic. Now let's give it a try and capture some requests from Google. Here we go. This is a request from our web browser to the Google server telling them that I want to open google.com. You may have heard that Python is gaining in popularity. In this course, we will use many tools that are based on Python. And to use these tools, we need to install Python. We will install the 2.7 version because most of the tools depended on this version. Python is very easy to install, just like any other software on your Windows. Hit next and install it by leaving the default settings. Give it some time to set up. Many people learn Python specifically just for hacking. And when I first started with Python and moving from Java to Python, personally felt a lot comfortable. To hack something, you need a tool to do it. So hackers choose the one which can be built easily and quickly. As Python is very easy to learn and powerful, hackers give high priority to Python. So you will find many hacking tools that have been created with Python. Okay, Python has been installed. Press finish. As you can see, Python has been installed in this directory, the Python 27 folder. So to run any tool with Python, we will use the python.exe file to run it. And to make Python accessible from the command line, we need to configure it in the environment variables. From the advanced system settings, press environment variables and search for the path variable. You will find it under the system variables section. Select it and press edit. You should add the Python directory here. I will delete it and add it again to make you understand. Press new and go to the directory. Copy the full Python directory and paste it here in the system variables. Press OK, OK, and you are done. To make sure that Python has been installed correctly, open the Windows command line. Just type the word Python and hit enter. If you got something like that, then you have successfully installed Python. Now let's download Vega Web Application Vulnerability Scanner from the main website. Just press the download button and choose your version. Give it a few seconds to start. So, Vega is a free and open source scanner and testing platform to test the security of web applications. Vega can help you find and validate SQL injections, cross-site scripting, and other vulnerabilities that can help you to hack web applications. By using an automated scanner like Vega, it will make it easier for you to check all the areas in the targeted web application. It will also make the hacking process faster than manual things. Press save file, then install the Vega scanner like any other app on your Windows. Press finish and run the scanner. Just give it a few seconds. Here you go. Your automated scanner is ready. It is very easy to use. You can just start a new scan and put the URL of the targeted web application here. I really hope that you enjoy my lessons. Please, if you have any question, just message me. Thank you. DVWA comes with various levels of difficulty. Go to DVWA security option. From here we can change the security level. Security level now is set to impossible, and that is mean we can't hack it. To make this web application hackable, change the security level to low. By setting the security level to low, we make this web application completely vulnerable, so we can test different vulnerabilities. Hello and welcome. In this lesson we will talk about information gathering. One thing that you need to know. To hack any website, you need to collect many information about it, such as the target IP address, the domain name information, other websites on the same server, and many more information. Now the first thing that you need to know about any target is some information about the owner of the website. You can know such information by using Whois lookup. Whois is a service that provides basic information about a registered domain, such as domain owner contact information, domain availability status, and the company with which the domain is registered. This tool will not hack the website. It will just give you some information about the owner and the server. You can go to Google and type Whois lookup, and you will find many websites that provide Whois service. Let's try 3 different websites. Most of them will give you the same result. All of them will have a text box so you can find a domain name information. Now let's try, for example, to find information about google.com. Press lookup, right CAPTCHA first. Here you go. You will find many information about the main Google domain such as contact information. As you can see here, you will find many information about the registrant like the phone number, the email, and many more. This information is very useful to know your target, and it can be used in social engineering techniques. A hacker can use the phone number or the email address or the other information to fool someone in Google organization using social engineering attacks. Now let's try to check the other website that provide the same service. Type google.com and press search. You will find here also many information about google.com such as the name servers which used to link the domain name with the hosting company. Let's try to get information about another domain, vulnweb.com. It seems that this website is not giving more details. Let's go back to the first website and try again. vulnweb.com, look up. Here we go. You can see more details here. The organization name, the address, the phone, the email, and many more. As you can see, who is lookup is very simple, but it will be useful in the long run. Hello and welcome. In this lesson, I will teach you how to detect the technologies that are used by the target web application. By knowing the technologies and knowing other information, this will help you to decide which method and which attack will be used to hack the target. You can detect these technologies by using Netcraft. Netcraft has a service called Site Report that will help you to collect more information about the target. Site Report service will give you a detailed report about the site technologies, helping you to collect information about the target website. As you can see here, this is a report about the default website, which is netcraft.com. The report will give you many information such as the hosting company, which is Amazon, and the hosting country, which is USA. Here is also the server IP address. You will find many information in this report. Here you will find the hosting history. As you can see, they are always use Linux and CloudFront from Amazon. As you can see, it seems that they are using Amazon Web Services, SSL, JavaScript, jQuery, and also WordPress CMS. Now let's try to detect technologies of another website. I will try to discover the technologies on vulnweb.com. This website from Acunetics has been created for testing purposes. Copy the website name and go back to Netcraft. Paste it here and press enter. You can find here many information that will be useful in future attacks. You can see here the hosting company is GoDaddy. The hosting country is Germany. There are many information here that will help you to know your enemy. You can't defeat your enemy without knowing him well. And you can't hack your target web application without knowing information about it. Simply, this is hacking. Another useful extension for Firefox called Webalizer will help you to identify technologies on websites. You can simply install it from addons.mozilla.org. I always use this extension because it's simple and easy to use to identify the website technologies. Just press Add to Firefox to install it. Now Webalizer has been installed. Close the extension website and let's try this extension. Let's check technologies on Google website. Click on the blue icon to see what does it detect. Google Web Server. Let's see what is it by clicking here. Okay, this is taking too long. Let's check another website while loading. Let's try Microsoft.com and see what does it detect. Click on the blue icon. They use jQuery and something called require.js. Now let's check another website. Let's say Sony.com. Okay, the page has been loaded. Here you can see information about Google Web Server if you don't know what is it. You can also go to Wikipedia and read about Google Web Server. Now let's see the technologies of Sony.com from the same icon. As you can see, they use Google Widget, Bootstrap, Apache Server and many other things. Now let's try to detect something from OneWeb.com. Check the extension icon and see what does it detect. You can see here something called Nginx. Click here to know some information. Webalizer extension is giving you the main website of Nginx and it says that it is a web server. Someone will ask me what I will do with this information. The answer is simple. Once you know the technology, let's say for example it is Apache. Simply you will go to Google and find Apache vulnerabilities and check if there is one of them affecting the current target. Hope that you enjoyed this lesson. If you have any question, just message me. Thank you. Hello and welcome. In this lesson, I will teach you how to find the subdomains. Let's say that you want to hack x.com, but x.com is not vulnerable and is secure. But since x.com has subdomains, then you can find them and try to hack them, and this will help you to hack x.com. So finding the subdomains of a website is very important in web applications hacking. Now type Netcraft subdomains in Google. Netcraft has a large number of a domain database that will help you to find subdomain information. You can use site contains search or start with or end with. Let's see what Microsoft.com domain contains. As you can see, Microsoft.com has many subdomains. Each one of these has a different scripts and different security. By checking the security of these subdomains, you may discover a vulnerability that will help you to hack Microsoft, for example. As you can see, support subdomain is different from answers subdomain, and that because they have different scripts and different services. Now let's find the subdomains of another website, vulnweb.com, which is designed for testing. You can see here that the website is telling you that it have subdomains. Now let's discover the subdomains of vulnweb.com. As you can see, Netcraft database contains all the subdomains of the website. Each subdomain is a completely different website with a different scripts and security. By hacking one of these websites, you will be able to hack the whole organization. So, an attacker can hack into a subdomain and uses it to hack the main domain. Now let's find the subdomains of yahoo.com. Choose site contains, type yahoo.com, then press look up. As you can see, yahoo.com has many subdomains. It has over 400 subdomains. You can always go to the next page to find the other subdomains. Finding subdomains of a domain is useful in penetration testing because they point to different web applications. Subdomains sometimes have private applications for testing, which are usually less secure than the public applications, so they can be hacked easily. I really hope that you enjoyed this lesson. If you have any question, just message me. Thank you. Hello and welcome. In this lesson, I will teach you how cross-site scripting works. Imagine that you have a website called Reddit.com, and this website allows users to make comments. Any published comment will be saved into the database, then will be displayed to the users. A normal comment will be like this one from the green user, or as you can see, the normal user. Sadly, this website also attracted some attackers with malicious goals. They will try to hack your website and hack your visitors. If your website doesn't have a good security and the comment box is not well filtered, the attacker can inject JavaScript into your web application. Now watch Mal, the hacker, injecting an alert using JavaScript. This alert message will be displayed to all users of the website. If you know some JavaScript programming language, you can take the advantage of this language and do more dangerous things. Cross-site scripting or XSS flow can be more useful for the attacker by injecting some JavaScript function that will help the attacker to steal the cookie of every user on the website. If you don't know what is the cookie, you can simply say it is your current session. It means that with the cookie, a hacker can log into your account without using any password. Now let's check the first type of XSS, which is called stored. We have a sign form that needs two inputs, one for the name and the other for the message. By filling the boxes and pressing sign, you will see the information displayed here, and that means that it has been saved into the database. Try to reload the page, you will find that the information is still saved here. By viewing the source code of the page, you can see that the information exists within the app. Okay, now we know that this form is saving the data into the database. Let's try to inject some JavaScript. To run JavaScript, it always needs to start and end with the script tag. If this form is not filtered to prevent JavaScript code, then the JavaScript will be injected into the page. The name box has a limited number of characters, so I couldn't complete the full JavaScript code. Of course, we can bypass this by using a proxy like Suite, but there is no need for that right now. Press sign and let's check the output. By viewing the source code, you will find that we were able to inject the script tag with the word test. Try to reload the page again. You will find that the data is still there, and that means it is stored in the database. Now let's try to inject some real JavaScript code. I will inject the alert JavaScript function, which will display a pop-up message. As you can see, I was able to display a message called hacked using the alert function in the JavaScript. View the source code and you will find that the JavaScript code has been injected without any filtration. Also try to reload the page and you will find that the injected code is still there, and that means it is stored in the database, and that's also means that this is a stored cross-site scripting. Now let's check the reflected cross-site scripting type. This type is not saved into the database, and that is the only difference between it and the stored type. In this example, we have a simple form that requires a name, so let's test it. Write anything and press submit. So the result is hello combined with the input. Try to reload the page. As you can see, the result has been disappeared, which means that it is not saved in the database. Now try to intercept this request using barb proxy. Don't forget to add the dot after localhost to tell barb proxy to capture traffic from localhost. Try to add any name and check the request in barb. As you can see, the full request is here with the name John. Let's use a tool called Repeater, which you can use to resend the request. The tool will help you to send the same request more than one time. Press go and wait for the response from the server. Search for the word hello. As you can see, the response came with the name that we give, which is John. Try to change the request with different name and press go. Now let's try to inject some HTML code. Anything between the h1 tag mean header, which is a little bigger. Press go and let's check the result in our response. Let's try this directly into our application. As you can see, the word John become bigger, and that because we were able to inject HTML tag. Now let's try to inject some JavaScript code by going back to Repeater in the barb suite. Let's start by showing a pop-up message with the alert function in JavaScript. By using the Repeater tool, it will make it easier for you to modify the request. Remember that the JavaScript code will only work between script tags. I mean that you should close the tag after you write your JavaScript code. I will try to show a pop-up message with the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's check if the alert has been injected into the response source code. Back to the application, let's try to inject the same code into the form. As you can see, the JavaScript code has been successfully executed, which means that this app is vulnerable to XSS. You can also change the JavaScript injected code directly from here. Try to show some text this time. With this security flow, a hacker can execute more commands that will make it easier for him to hack the users of the website. An attacker can do something like that and redirect the entered data to his own server. A hacker can steal cookies, passwords, credit cards information, and many more using cross-site scripting vulnerabilities. I hope that you enjoyed this lesson. If you have any questions, please message me. Thank you. Hello and welcome. In this lesson, I will teach you how CSRF or cross-site request forgery works. CSRF is an attack that forces an end user to execute unwanted actions on the web application in which they are currently authenticated. As you can see here, the hacker Mal noticed that you are using a social media website that is making posts using GET requests, and that means that all information will be included into the URL. You can see here the information that will be posted. Now the hacker Mal was able to guess Vic email, which is the victim. The hacker sent a fake message with a crafted URL to the victim email. The hacker used social engineering attack to fool the victim and make him believe that it is a real message. Vic believed the message and clicked the link. This link has been designed to send a request to the server from the victim account. So after Vic clicked it, a post has been published on his wall. He also may not have noticed that a malicious post has been published. Well, all Vic friends will see the malicious post and think that it is a good post from Vic, so they will also click the link, and when they do that, they will be fooled with the same trick. This is really bad news, because now a worm has been created and published, and most of the users of the website will click that malicious link. Now let's log in into the DVWA. I just want to show you the password because we will need it in the exploitation of the CSRF flow. The default login details are admin and password, but I changed the password to 123456. From the source code you can change the type to anything, so you can see the hidden password. Now let's log in and go to the CSRF vulnerability. As you can see here, this is a small form that will allow you to change your DVWA password. Because this is your account, you are the only one allowed to change the password. Let's try to change the password. I will change it to 55555. Let's show the hidden password from the source code. Just change the word password from type to any other word. Now the password will be changed to 55555. The password has been changed, so let's log out and try to log in again using the new password. Username admin, password 123456, which is the old password. Show it from the source code. Of course this will not work because we have already changed it. Now try to add the new password, which is 55555. I will show it again from the source code to be sure that we are right. Here we go. We logged in with the new password. Now let's see where is the CSRF vulnerability. We will use barb suite to intercept the change password request. Let's try to change the password again and check the request in barb proxy. As you can see, the proxy has captured the GET request containing the new password information, which is QWERTY. We can see here that the request doesn't contain any CSRF tokens. Tokens usually used to prevent CSRF vulnerability. Now let's try to exploit this vulnerability. Send the request to the repeater tool, which will help you to send the same request several times. This is a really good tool that will make it easier and faster for you. You need to know that GET requests usually shows in the URL. Only GET request shows here. Now to exploit this flow, you need to force the victim to do the request with one-click link. Now you need to copy the full request, then add it directly after the domain name. In this situation, it will be directly after the localhost. Let me explain it to you again in the notepad. We have two fields for the password, one for the new and the other for the confirm. As an attacker, add your own password. Let's say it will be the word hacked. Just one thing missing, which is the domain name. Copy it and make our full request ready. As you can see, it seems that everything is complete. But it seems that this is so long, which make it suspicious for the victim. We need to make it simpler. Let's make it shorter. There are many services that will shorten your URL. In this case, I will use the Google service. Just put your link here, do the captcha, and press shorten. Here is our small link. You can send it to the victim via Facebook or via email. So this is the link of the CSRF exploit. Anyone logged into the DVWA and clicked this link, the password will be changed. Of course, you can use some social engineering tricks to fool him. If we try to click on this link, the password will be changed immediately. I know that you want to become a good hacker. If you really want that, you need to try and try and try many times until you exploit any vulnerability. Hello and welcome. In this lesson, I will teach you how SQL injection works. This is a vulnerable bank application. The logs section will show you what's happening behind the scenes. Now let's try to log in using any email with a password. After pressing login, the web application will try to find the details in the database. In this case, the provided user does not exist in the database. Now let's try to add a single quotation after the word. The single quotation usually used to test inputs for SQL injection attacks. Press login and let's see what happened. You can see here that the logs say that there are some errors. And that has happened because we put a single quotation into the password field. By doing this, we are breaking the MySQL code behind the scenes. Check here, this is the web application code that is used to search for the provided email and password. Select command is used to select something from the database. Select from all the users where email equal user@email.com and password equal password. As you can see, by adding the single quotation after the word, I can change the MySQL query. And that will give me the ability to add more commands to control or hack the database. All this means that this banking web application is vulnerable to SQL injection attack. Now let's add a SQL command that will allow us to access the user account without using any password. Single quotation, space or space 1 equal 1 dash dash. This simple SQL command will fool the web application and tell it that we entered the correct password because we give it a true statement. If you have some basics in programming, you will know that this means true. Press login and the magic happens. You are in. you were able to hack this banking web application using SQL injection attack. You have a normal form here that is taking the user ID from the users. As you can see, every ID is linked with a specific user. Let's test this input for SQL injection flow by adding a single quotation. Here we go. It is a SQL error, which means that this web application is vulnerable to SQL injection attack. Now let's try to change the MySQL query using the select command. I will try to modify the query and use the database function with the select command to extract the database name. This is a manual SQL injection, and you need to understand some MySQL commands to do it. The previous query didn't work, so I will try to change it to be like this. Still doesn't work, change it again. In manual SQL injection, you need to be patient, unless you are using an automatic tool. You can see here, this is the database name. Now let's change the query and add the version function to extract the database version. As you can see, we used SQL injection to get the version of the database. Now let's try to extract the current user of the database using the user function. Here we go. We got root at localhost. As a hacker, we need more information to hack this web application. So let's try to get the username and the password of this application. We will use the MySQL query to tell the database to select username and password from all the users. As you can see, we were able to extract all the users and all the encrypted passwords from the database. And here you can see the admin account with the encrypted password. We will try to decrypt this password using an online tool. Just copy the encrypted password here, write the captcha and press decrypt. As you can see, the password is hacked, and this is the admin password. You can also try to decrypt the other passwords, but the most important one is the admin password. Hope that you enjoyed this lesson. Thank you. Hello and welcome. In this lesson, I will teach you how command execution works. Many websites make use of command line calls to read files, send emails, and perform other native operations. If your website transforms untrusted input into shell commands, you need to carefully filter these inputs. Let's say that you have a website that is using the nslookup command to find information about a specific domain, then print the results to the user. And since this input, which is named domain, is not filtered, then it is vulnerable to command execution. Any user with malicious goals can exploit this vulnerability and break the security of the website. Here is the hacker Mal knows that your website is based on PHP, and he will try to hack your application using the command execution flow. First, he will try to test the input with the right way by adding a normal domain name such as google.com. As you can see, here is our input with its value, domain equal google.com. The hacker now will try to modify the input and put some malicious commands. Since this is a Linux machine, he used the OR operator with the command echo to print something with the original command. As you can see, he was able to print the word hacked after the original result. He can now do more commands using this flow and take control over the whole server. He can execute the popular Linux command etc/password to extract sensitive data. This is a very dangerous flow. If you found it in a web application, you can really hack the whole thing easily. Now let's check the command execution or command injection vulnerability on DVWA. As you can see, it is a simple input box that will execute the ping command on the system. The ping command is used to verify that the device can communicate with another on the network. Now I sent a ping request to my machine, and here is the reply from the local host. I got a reply from 127.0.0.1. Now let's try to ping google.com. As you can see, Google server replied with its IP. Now let's try to add some malicious input. I'm trying to use the dir command to display a list of the files and subfolders. But this is not working, so I will try a different method. Let's try to add the dir command to the original input using AND or OR operators. By using AND or OR operators, we can combine two commands in the same line. Well, that's worked. You can see the files and the folders of the current directory. I will try it again using the AND operator. As you can see, this is also worked, and we are able to see the current directory files. Now let's try to exploit this vulnerability and try to write a file into the server using the echo command. I will try to write the word hacked into a file named hackedx.php. So the whole command will be google.com or echo hacked into a file named hackedx.php. Press submit and let's check the results. Nothing displayed. But wait, let's try to execute the dir command again. Here we go. This is the file that we have created. Let's try to access it from the browser directory. Press enter and see the magic. You can do whatever you want on the server using this vulnerability. I really hope that you enjoyed this lesson. Please, if you have any question, just message me. Thank you. Hello and welcome. In this lesson, we will learn file upload vulnerabilities. As you can see here, we have an upload form that will let you upload images to the server. You can choose any picture from your computer and try to upload it. As you can see, the picture has been successfully uploaded to this location. You can copy the picture location and add it directly after the main DVWA directory, and this will allow you to view the picture on the browser. A hacker can take advantage of this form and try to upload a malicious file. Let's, for example, create a malicious file. We will create a PHP file that will contain some PHP code. Just give it any name with .php extension. We will tell the server to execute the command echo, which is responsible for printing text. Write echo between PHP tags. Let's say I will print the word hacked. Now save the file and let's try to upload it. Click Browse and choose the PHP file. Okay, it has been uploaded. Let's try to view it. We forgot something here. We made a space between the names and this is a mistake. Now let's rename the file and remove the space. Okay, now let's try to upload the same file again. Copy the file location and view it on the web browser. As you can see, we were able to execute PHP commands on the server. The word hacked has been successfully printed using our PHP code. A hacker can use this vulnerability and upload a malicious file that will let him take control over the whole server. Now let's install a tool called Weavly. From Google search engine, type Weavly. You can find it on GitHub. Just open the GitHub project. This tool will generate a PHP backdoor that you can use to take control over the targeted server. You can download the tool from this green button. You can view the wiki for tutorials and installation steps. Let's view the install section. We are using Windows here, so let's take a look at Windows section. Let's first extract the tool files. Okay, all the files have been extracted. You can see all the files here. As you can see, the tool has been built with Python. To run this tool, we need to open the CMD. Let's go back and see how to install the tool. You need to run the following command to install all the dependencies. Copy it and go back to the CMD. Paste it here and press enter. Your result will be different, and that because I installed the tool before. Now the tool has been installed. Let's run it. Copy the name of the tool and write it here with -h to see how to use it. Of course, you can check the wiki for more information about how to use Weavly tool. Anyway, we will use the weavly.py, generate, choose any password. I will choose 12345678. Then type the name of the shell. I will make it shell.php. As you can see, the web shell has been generated with the chosen password. You can find it in the tool folder. You can see here, shell.php. Now let's go back to the upload form to test the generated web shell. Press browse and choose the PHP shell from your computer. Upload it using the upload button. Try to view the shell on the web browser. Oops, there is something missing in the URL. Okay, I forgot to put the main DVWA directory after the localhost. As you can see, a blank page. Then the shell is there. Now copy the shell URL and let's see how to use it in Weavly tool. Type weavly.py, then paste the URL, then write the shell password. Press enter. It seems that there is something wrong with the command. Let's do it again. weebly.py, the URL and the password. Here we go. Now you are connected to the web shell. Now you can control the whole server and execute commands. Let's try to check the help to see what we can do with this tool. Wow, there are many commands. You can do whatever you want with this tool. This is really very good. Let's try a command. Let's try the system info command. Copy it and paste it here, then press enter. Okay, this is useful. It is giving you some information about the system and the web application. Now let's try another command. Okay, let's try the system process command. Unable to list processes. Maybe this command has been designed to run only on Linux. Let's try another one. Type help to see the commands list again. Let's try the file list command. Okay, you can see all the files in this directory. Let's try another command. There are many of them. Execute shell commands. This one seems interesting. You can see here it is telling you how to execute operating system commands. Okay, this is simple. Just type shell _sh, then type the system command. As you can see, I tried the ipconfig command and it's showing all current network configuration. Now let's try another command. Let's try, for example, to execute netstat command. As you can see, the command has been successfully executed on the server, and it displays active TCP connections and ports. Using Weebly tool to generate a PHP shell is a good way to bypass the detection of malicious files and execute operating system commands on the targeted server. I saw many hacked servers that have been infected with Weebly shells and they were hard to detect. I really hope that you enjoyed this lesson. If you have any question, just message me. Thank you. Hello and welcome. In this lesson, we will talk about brute force attacks. As you can see here, we have the DVWA login form. I don't know what is the password, but I know the username, which is admin. So let's try any password and see what is the result. You can see here that the password is wrong. Let's try again with a different password. Okay, it seems that we don't know the password. Now let's try to guess the password using Barb Suite. We need to capture the request first. Don't forget to configure the browser to send the HTTP requests to the proxy. Go to the proxy settings and enable the manual proxy configuration. Now let's capture the login form requests. Type admin and put any password. You can see here that the login request has been captured by Barb. The username is admin and the password is test. Now to exploit the brute force vulnerability, we will use a tool called intruder. All that you need to do is to right click and send this request to intruder. After that, go to the intruder tab, then go to the positions tab. The tool wants to know where to do the guesses. So we will press clear, then choose the password input by pressing the add button. By choosing this, We told the tool to exploit this field, I mean the password field. Now go to the Payloads tab to select the list of passwords. Intruder is a really nice tool that is giving you many options. You can use numbers option to create a range of numbers. Also, you can use the brute force option, which enable you to create a custom list of passwords. For example, if you want to create a list of numbers, choose only numbers. You can also specify the length of the password from these two options. For example, the minimum length is 1 and the maximum length is 4. This will create about 11,000 of passwords. And that means that the tool will try 11,000 passwords to find the real one. Now let's start the brute force attack. Okay, it is telling you that this is a demo version of Barb Suite. As you can see, the attack has been started, and the tool is trying to put different passwords with each request starting from 1. Remember that we choose only numbers, so the tool will try all the numbers until it reaches the 4 digits, which is the maximum length. We will cancel this attack for now and try a custom list that I have generated. Choose simple list from the menu. Now load your own passwords list from your computer. It is a simple list that I have generated to show you how brute force attack work. The password exists within this list. I will let the tool guess the right one by pressing start attack. You can see that the attack has been started and it is trying different password with each request. The tool will try username admin with every password in the list until it finds the right one. Intruder is one of the best built-in tools in Barb Suite. I used this tool to hack many organizations out there. As you can see, we sent many requests without any kind of limitation, and that means there is a brute force vulnerability. For example, if you try this attack against Facebook, you will find that there is something called CAPTCHA, and that will make you unable to use this attack. The brute force attack has been finished. Now someone will ask me how to know which password is correct. Well, you can check the response of each request for that. The render tab will help you a lot to notice the difference between each response. As you can see here, we got the same error message. You can view each response until you find something different. Okay, they all show the same login form, which means that it is not the right password. Another one will tell me this is so hard. I will answer yes, but you can find it easier by checking the response length. You can see here that most of the responses have the same length, which is 5493. All that you need to do is to find a response with a different length. Here we go. The length is 5559. Let's check the response and the render tab. Oh, that's awesome. Welcome to the admin area. Now we know the right password. Let's find it in the request. As you can see, the username is admin and the password is password. Let's go back to the login form and try to log in using admin and password. First, turn off Barb Suite interception. Write admin, password, login. Here we go. Welcome to the admin area. I hope that you enjoyed this lecture. If you have any question, just message me. And please don't forget to rate the course. Thank you. First, we need to download the tool from the following link. The tool exists for Linux, but this version has been modified to work with Windows. You can download the tool from the following link. I will add it to the resources as well. Crunch is a word list generator that you can use to create a custom list. The tool might be able to save us hours or days in password cracking if we can use it correctly. Okay, the tool has been downloaded. Now let's extract the tool files. As you can see, here are the tool files. You can click the CMD file here to run the tool, or just type CMD here to run the command line from the tool directory. Okay, now type the tool name crunch.exe to show the tool options. You will see here many options and some examples on how to use the tool. As you can see in this example, we write crunch with the minimum length and the maximum length, with the characters that we want and where to save the created list. Now let's say for example that we want to create a list of numbers. The minimum length will be 4 and the maximum length will be also 4. Let's say that you want to generate the list only from these numbers, from 1 to 5 only. The tool will use these numbers to generate the list. Now type -o and type any file name with the text extension to save the list to it. Here I will save the generated numbers to a file named numbersonly.txt. Press enter and you are done. Now check the tool directory and you will find the generated list here. Let's check it. As you can see, all the possible numbers have been generated with the minimum length 4 and the maximum length 4 from 1 to 5 only. Now let's go back to the tool and try to generate a different list. Just imagine that you want to hack someone's password and you know that he will use numbers only or characters only, or both of them. You can use this tool to create your custom list so you can guess his or her password. Okay, now I will create a list from A, B, C, D, E, F, 1. And I will save it to anything, 1 plus for example. As you can see here, all possible words from A, B, C, D, E, F, 1 with the minimum and maximum 4 have been generated. You can create any custom list with this amazing tool. Let's say that we want to create a list from 0 to 9 with the minimum and the maximum length 5. You will need this tool when you try password and brute force attacks. Every attack scenario will need a custom list. Now let's save the numbers list to a file called allnumbers.txt and change the minimum and maximum to 5. Now let's check the generated list. As you can see here, all possible numbers from 0 to 9 have been generated, from 5 zeros to 5 nines. We will need to use this tool because sometimes we may have indications of the target's choice password or password components, which may come from our knowledge of the target. It could be their name, children's name, a pet's name, birthday, or job. In these cases, we may be able to generate a custom word list that reflects our knowledge of the target. In this scenario, we will try to hack a router. As you can see, we are connected to a Wi-Fi network called ZTE. To access the router page, we need the username and the password. We can try some default logins for known routers, but as you can see, we are not able to log in. Now let's hack this router by using a tool called Hydra. You will find it in the resources. Type cmd here so you can open the tool directory in the command line. Now type Hydra to see all the tool options. You can see here an example on how to use the tool. Now let's use Hydra to attack our target. Write Hydra-L, which will enable you to add a file with all possible usernames. I made a file called users contains all possible usernames for the router. As you can see, here are the usernames. I also made a file named passwords that contain a list of possible passwords. To make it easier, just copy both files to Hydra folder. Now let's go back to the command line and add our files to the Hydra command. You see -L for the users and -B for the file that contains the passwords. The file name is passwords.txt. Now we need to give the tool the target address. In this case, it is the router IP address, which is 192.168.1.1. We should also tell Hydra which service to attack. In this case, it is a web page, which means that it works via HTTP. Sometimes also we need to use -V, which is verbose mode, which will show login and pass for each try, and use -W time to wait some time between each connection. Now we wrote the full command. We are ready to attack the router IP address. Hit enter and let's see what will happen. As you can see, Hydra has started to attack the router by trying root with different passwords. Since root is the first user in our list, it will start with it with all the passwords in the passwords list. Then after finish, it will start again with another user, which is admin. Hydra is a login cracker which supports different protocols to attack. It is very fast and flexible. This tool makes it possible for researchers and security consultants or hackers to show how easy it would be to gain unauthorized access to the system remotely. As you can see here, it makes the process faster. I don't think that anyone can try all these logins in a short amount of time. In the previous lecture, we saw how to create our custom list using Crunch. You can use it to exploit a bug like this. In this scenario, there is a security issue with the router because it allows us to try many logins without any kind of block or limitation. As you can see here, Hydra has started to try the second username with different passwords. Just give it some time to see if we will get the right login details or not. Now we start with different username, which is administrator. Sometimes there is an error with some tries. Don't worry because Hydra will try them again. Here we go. It started with the user root. In this scenario, we are using Hydra to crack a web page that works via HTTP. We can use Hydra also to crack FTP connections or remote desktop connections, SSH, Telnet, and many different protocols. Simply, it is a powerful tool. Now I will give the tool some time to find the right login details. Hydra will give you an amazing status too. As you can see, it is telling you that it makes over 300 tries per minute, with over 1000 tries in 3 minutes, which is awesome. Now the tool has started with a different username, which is admin with small a. Remember that always logins are case sensitive. Wow, something is different here. Let's see if it is the right username and password. Username is admin and password is also admin. Let's check it with the router web page. It seems that the router is busy with responding to Hydra. Let's just stop the tool for now to make it free to respond to us. Now let's try again. Okay, very good. The user is admin and the password is also admin. Perfect. We were able to hack the router using the amazing Hydra. Now you can do whatever you want with the victim. You can see here the Wi-Fi name, which is ZTE. As you can see, Hydra is still running. I will keep it running to show you the final results. Here is the final status with the final results. As you can see, Hydra is telling you that there is a valid password found. That's it, and that's how Hydra works. Hope that you have enjoyed this lesson. If you have any question, just message me. Thank you. Hello and welcome. In this lesson, I will teach you how to hack a real website. This website has been created by Acunetics for security testing. It is a normal website that has some products categories with a login page and sign up form. We will try to detect and discover most of vulnerabilities on this website. Simply, I will teach you how to break the security of this website and hack it by exploiting the discovered security flaws. One thing that you need to know. To find a vulnerability, you need to check and test all the inputs of the web application. And to do that, you have two options, manual techniques or automated techniques. Now let's use the automated one. Copy the website URL and let's go to Vega Scanner. Vega Scanner contains a list of defined tests. Vega will perform these tests against the web application and detect the response of the website to detect the security issues. All you need to do is to start a new scan with Vega. Put the link of the website that you want to scan here. Press next, just leave the default settings. Press next again or just press finish to start the scan. Now the scan has been started against test.php.vulnweb.com. First, the scanner will try to detect the pages of the website. Then we'll test the inputs of every page. Under the scan alerts section, you will see all the detected vulnerabilities. Vega will give you three types. The high, which is very dangerous, the medium and the low, and some information. As you can see, Vega Scanner was able to detect cross-site scripting, SQL injections, and other security issues. You need to give the scanner some time to finish all the tests against the web application. Well, as you can see, other vulnerabilities have been detected, like remote file include. Automated scanners will make it easier for you to perform a lot of tests in a short amount of time. You can't really do that using manual techniques. Vega is not the only scanner out there. There are many other scanners, but Vega is a free open source, which is really great. You are recommended to use automated techniques before switching to manual methods, because this will make it easier and more efficient for you. After Vega Scanner finished the scan, let's try to exploit one of these vulnerabilities. As you can see here, Vega detected a SQL injection vulnerability and giving you a lot of information about this security flaw. The SQL injection vulnerability affects both listproducts.php and it also affects newuser.php. We will use SQL map tool, which is one of the best tools to exploit SQL injections. From Google, type SQL map and open the main website of the tool. Let's go to the project on GitHub to see more details about the tool. Here are some information and screenshots about the tool. Everything that you need to know to install the tool is here. The important thing that you need to know is that this tool is based on Python programming language. So you need to install Python on your computer to run SQL map. Now let's download the tool to our computer. Copy the zip file into somewhere and extract its files. Open the extracted folder. Here are the SQL map Python files. Now to run this tool you need to open Windows DOS and go to this directory, or simply type here cmd. First you need to be sure that Python is installed on your system. So write the word Python and press enter. If you got something like that, then you are ready to go. Exit from Python window by pressing Ctrl and C, or just use the exit function in Python. To use the tool, simply run the SQL map.py file using the Python command. Just type python SQL map.py-h, which means help, to give you all the tool options. SQL map came with a lot of options that will let you exploit SQL injection vulnerabilities. Now let's tell SQL map tool to try to exploit the SQL injection flows that we have found using Vega Scanner. Vega Scanner told us that the SQL injection exists in the list products.php file. To make SQL map tool exploit the vulnerability, you need to give it the affected URL, which is the domain name plus the affected file, which is listproducts.php. I tried to copy the full URL from Vega Scanner, but I couldn't find the copy option. So let's try to get it from the website directly. As you can see, here it is, the listproducts.php file, which is vulnerable to SQL injection. Now copy the full URL and go back to SQL map. Put it after the -u. -u tell the SQL map tool that this is a URL. Press enter and let the tool do the whole job for you. The tool will ask you some questions. It detected that the database is MySQL, so there is no need to test other types of database. Type Y, which means yes. You are recommended to use the default options, so also type yes. The SQL map tool will try many SQL queries to discover the best query to extract the data from the database. Just give it some time to do the job. As you can see, it is giving you a lot of useful information, telling you that it is a GET request and it is injectable. In fact, SQL map is so powerful and automated, and this is really very useful for you as an ethical hacker. It will help you to exploit SQL injections faster and faster. Here SQL map telling you that the cat input is vulnerable. Do you want to test the others? To save time, simply say no. As you can see here, SQL map tool has detected the right queries to exploit the SQL injection vulnerability. Now let's check the options again to see what we can get from the database. You have many options here that you can use to extract many data from the MySQL database. You can extract tables, you can extract the current database. There are many things that you can really extract. Let's try the -- passwords option to enumerate the user's passwords hashes. Simply type -- passwords after the URL. Sorry for the missing S. Let's do it again. Now SQL map is trying to extract the hashes of the current database user. It seems that we don't have the necessary permissions to extract the hashes. So let's try another option. Let's try to extract all the database's names. As you can see here, we have two databases, AccuArt and Information Schema. Let's try to extract all the tables from the AccuArt database. Put the dash dash tables option and the dash D option and give it the name of the database, which is AccuArt, the database that we want to extract tables from it. Here we go, all tables have been extracted. The user table seems to be the most important table in this database. So let's extract all the entries of the user's table using the dash dash dump option. Dash T to specify the table name, which is the user's table. Hit enter and see the magic happens with the SQL map. There is no need to store the extracted data into a temporary file, so just say no. Also no need to crack them right now, so say no again. This is the magic of SQL injection vulnerability. As you can see, we are able to access all the information in the database, which contains users, emails, passwords, credit cards information, and other data. I really hope that you enjoyed this lesson. Remember that to become a great hacker, you need to learn more and more and more. If you have any questions, please message me. Thank you. Now let's exploit cross-site scripting that has discovered with Vega. It seems that the vulnerability affects the comment page, the list products.php, the search.php, and the new user.php. Now let's try to check the vulnerability in the search.php. Click here to see the full HTTP request. This is the response from the server, but we care now about the request. The vulnerability exists in the search.php file. Copy the request and go back to the main website. Try to open that file by adding it directly after the website name. Since the name is search.php, we know that this is related to the search box of the website. Now let's download a tool named BruteXSS that will exploit this vulnerability automatically. From Google, type BruteXSS. Open the GitHub project of the tool. Here are the tool files with all the information that you need to install and use it. You can see that it can brute cross-site scripting vulnerabilities, scan for XSS flows, and it also supports GET and POST requests. Here is also some information about how to use it. Now let's download the BruteXSS tool. Extract the tool files from the zip. Okay, done. Now let's see the files of the tool. As you can see here, there are some files with the .py extension, and that means the tool is based on Python programming language. Now open this directory in command line, type cmd and press enter. To use this tool, you need to be sure that you have Python installed on your computer. You can check if you have Python or not by typing the word Python in the command line and press enter. If you got something like that, then you are ready to go. Now let's run the tool. Just type python brutexss.py and press enter. As you can see, the tool is working and it's asking you about the type of the request that you want to test. Is it GET request or POST request? You can know that from Vega Scanner. Check the request here. It said that it is a POST request. So to choose POST request, type B and press enter. Now enter the affected URL. Just copy the affected link and give it to the tool. Paste it here and press enter. Enter the POST data. It is asking you about the inputs that goes with this request. You can also get it from Vega. Just click here on this line. Click on request and here is the post data. Copy it and go back to the tool. Paste it here and press enter. Enter the location of the word list. This list contains the tests that the tool will execute to find and exploit cross-site scripting. As you can see here, this is the default word list of Brute XSS tool. So the tool will use this list of codes to try to exploit the vulnerability. We will use the default word list for sure, so press enter. As you can see, the tool is trying to inject different codes quickly to find the exploit. A small error happened with the tool, but no worries, because we found our exploit code. You can see here that the vulnerability affects the search for parameter or input. The payload is some JavaScript code that the tool tried to exploit the flow with it. Now copy this payload from the command line. Go back to the website and try to use this payload. You can check that this is the vulnerable input by checking its name from the source code. Now try our payload here and let's see that if we have the JavaScript code executed. As you can see, we got a pop-up message with JavaScript. Try to change the injected values. I will let JavaScript print the word hacked. As you can see, we can execute JavaScript commands. Now let's exploit another vulnerable file with GET request. Let's say it is the list products.php. Copy the vulnerable request from Vega. Add it directly after the website name. You know, we did this before. Copy the full URL and go back to Brute XSS tool and repeat the previous steps. But choose GET request this time. You can know the type of request from Vega scanner. So this is easy now. Type G, enter, paste the URL, enter, and enter again. Here we go. We can use the red payload to exploit the XSS vulnerability in the list products.php. Copy it and go back to the website. Since this is a GET request, then the data will be sent in the URL, and here the cat input is vulnerable. Press enter and see the magic. As you can see, the XSS vulnerabilities allow the hacker to execute JavaScript. So if you have a good skills with JavaScript, you can do a lot of dangerous things with cross-site scripting. Hello and welcome. In this lesson, I will show you how to exploit source code disclosure vulnerability. This vulnerability will make the hacker able to read the source code of any script by using the file name. As you can see here, this website has some categories, and each category contains some products that contain some information with some pictures. If you try to check these images, you will notice that the developer of this website is showing the images using the showimage.php file with the file parameter. Let's test this input and see how it performs after modifying the input. Every time I change the file name, the website is showing another image. It seems that these images are coming from the pictures directory. So if we try to make the website showing an image that does not exist, it will show an error. In fact, modern browsers will hide the real errors because you are a normal user. If you tried another web browser like Internet Explorer, you will find the real errors there. Just copy the same link here and press enter. As you can see, the detailed errors are here, and it is telling you that the application couldn't find that file, which is 1.jpg. Let us become smart and try to exploit this behavior. Let's try to show a PHP file and see what happens. Wow, this is magic. We can see the source code of the index.php, which is the main page of this website. An attacker can get sensitive information like database connection details by analyzing the source code. Now let's try to read more files from the web application. Search for PHP files names to read the source code from them. Here we go, categories.php. Let's read its source code. After the equal of the file parameter, type ./categories.php and hit enter. Very good. We can see the full source code of categories.php. But wait, I think that you noticed something important. Database connect.php. The name is sensitive. Let's see what does it contains. Yes, as you can see, this is the real magic. The database connection details are here. The server name, the username, and the password. And this is the script source code disclosure vulnerability. I really hope that you enjoyed this lesson. Please, if you have any question, just message me. Thank you. Hello and welcome. In this lesson, I will show you another scanner called ERC20, which is another free open source web application security scanner that will help you to find and discover security weaknesses. From the main website of the scanner, press download. Choose your version and let it download. In this case, I will install the Windows version. I have already downloaded the setup file, so I will cancel the current download. This is the setup file, so let's install the scanner. Give it some time to extract all the files. This will take a few minutes, so please wait. ERC20 is a free good scanner that has been created to help penetration testers and administrators to evaluate the security of web applications. Automated scanners will make it easier for you to discover security issues in a short amount of time, and this will make it easier for you to hack the targeted web application. Okay, now we are over the 70%, so we will wait until it finishes. Here we go, all the files have been extracted to this folder. Now to open the web scanner, open the bin folder and search for a file named ERC20_web.bat. Run this bat file and give it a few seconds to start. Here we go. The web scanner is listening on localhost with port 9292. All you need to do is copying this URL and open it in the web browser. As you can see, this is the ERC20 scanner homepage. The default email is admin@admin.admin. And the password is administrator. Okay, now we are in. Welcome to ERC20 web interface. Let's try to start a new scan. All you need to do is to give it the URL of the targeted web application. In this case, I will scan this website, testphp.vulnweb.com. Copy the URL and go back to the scanner. Paste it here, then press go. If you got an error like that, don't worry. You just need to add HTTP before the URL. Press go again. Here we go. The scan has been started. All you need to do is to wait and give the scanner some time to perform all the tests against the web application. In this area, the scanner will give some information like the number of performed requests, time, and other information. Now you see that the number of performed requests is increasing, and that means that the scanner is working and doing all the tests. Now check the issues section. You will find that the scanner was able to discover some vulnerabilities. The scanner is sorting these vulnerabilities by severity. As you can see, the high section with the color red contain cross-site scripting vulnerability. The scanner will show you all the discovered vulnerabilities and it will give you information about each vulnerability. The scanner is not finished yet. If you give it more time, it will detect another vulnerabilities. As you can see, more vulnerabilities shows here. Remote file inclusion and SQL injection. I think that you now know that scanners will make it easier for you to discover a vulnerability in the targeted web application. Hope that you enjoyed this lesson. Thank you.